Okay, so we're back. So what I did during the break is that I actually clean up the structure of the folder or the structure of the group. Okay, so I put the head right in the head group, and I put the hand object or mesh in the hand group, and I put the body in the body group, and eyeball in the eyeball group, and I actually put the button inside the body group. And this is what my group structure look like. Okay, so if I click this upper or the root folder, right, or group, and it will select the whole snowman for me. Okay, in which I can easily manipulate the position or rotation or the scale for the snowman. Okay, now before we move on to the texturing portion, we're just going to create a ground and some trees for the snowman. So I'm going to use this button or polygon plane to create this as a ground. Okay, so let's turn on the grid. Okay, so this button will show and hide the grid. So I want to make this bigger. Oh, if your snowman is kind of like below the grid, you can actually push it up. So kind of like just nice above the ground. Okay, maybe something like this. It should be okay. Okay, and I want to make this a bit bigger and hide the grid for now. Okay, and don't forget to rename the ground under GRP. Okay, and I'm gonna create like a bit of trees using this cylinder and move it around. Now, what I'm gonna show you is that I'm going to show you a pivot. Okay, as you can see, the pivot of the cylinder right now is set in the middle of the object, like that. Okay, and if I scale this object using this green button, it will scale this in both direction, which is the upper and the lower. Okay, something like this. Right, now what if you want to just scale the upper portion? Okay, so what you need to do is that you need to move the pivot by holding D, right, and just move downward and use this to scale up or down. Okay, so it's a very handy tool that you can do by just moving the pivot. I mean, if you want to put it back, you can hold D again in your keyboard and just move it upward or whatever you want, right, according to your needs. Okay, so let's say like you messed it up, the location of the pivot. So how do you get it back? Well, you select the object, okay, and there is this button for you to set the pivot. Okay, so what it does, it will center the pivot of the selected object. Okay, so let's click this, and this will reset it to the center of the object. Okay, so as for now, I'm just going to use this center pivot like that, right? Okay, and I want to push it downward using D. I want to make this tall. Okay, so this will act as my tree trunk. Okay, so once it's done, I can just push it downward, maybe like this, right? Maybe a little bit taller, and press 4 just to see if everything okay, and maybe like that. Okay, press 5 to get it back, and once you're done, I'm going to use a cone, right? Gonna put it here. Maybe I'm gonna use my top view, right? Press 4 and just eyeball it. Maybe something like this. Okay, make it bigger, maybe. Control D, Control D. I get something like that. Right, so this will act as my trees. And again, go back to your outliner. Don't forget to rename. So this is going to be my trunk, GRP, or supposed to be mesh. Right. So also mesh, Good. So will be my leaves 01, copy, mesh. It's going to be leaf 2, 3 underscore mesh. It's supposed to be leaf 4 underscore mesh. And you can group this as leaf grp group, and this can be the tree group. Right, so if you want to put this back, right, the pivot, you can just click this, select the group, and click center pivot. Okay, now everything is in the correct position. And if you want, you can also duplicate these trees by Control D, right, and you can scale like that. Okay, so be creative about the trees placement. Okay, I think we are done with the modeling. Okay, so now we can move on to the texturing portion.